Yes, yes, yes. Welcome. Welcome one. Welcome all. Welcome to the Elevation Time Dr. B Sirius Insights conversation. I'd like to welcome you all from wherever you have come. I'd like to know, can you hear music? Let me know in the chat if you hear the music. You're listening to the music from a brand new project, Dr. B Sirius Medicine Music Project, Medicine Music Collective 3, which we're working on right now. So listen and just vibe.
To be my best self. To be creative. And to let go.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I allow myself to live an elevated life, to stay focused and clear, always moving towards a goal. I allow myself to let go and to learn to live and to grow. I allow myself time and space. I allow.
Yes,
I allow
yes.
myself to feel. To express myself. And to use the talents that I possess. I allow myself to make love out of the the things that are not love. I allow myself to be creative, live in the moment. I allow. I allow. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I allow. I allow. I allow. I allow myself to be authentic, transparent, open, caring, and loving. Yes, 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 yes. I allow myself to let go, to be free, and to plant new seeds and live the best life. Yes, 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 yes. Right now. Right now. Right now. I allow the God power within me to express itself through art, through creativity. I allow myself to plant new seeds in the garden of life. I let go. I allow. I allow. I am grateful. I am honored to allow, to be here now. Yes, yes, yes. We're tapping in. Tapping into that new vibration that's happening now. Welcome to Elevation Time Radio Webcast. I allow. Allow. I allow. Yes. Ooh, yes.
That one does it every time. That's I Allow. Coming to you soon, originally from the God Power 2 soundtrack, but it's being remixed, remastered, and augmented for the Medicine Music 3 soundtrack that will be on our website at Elevation Time soon. And you were listening to the amazing vocals of Azare. I allow. We allow. As we lift off, as the leaves are falling down, we rise together in oneness. Are you ready? Are you ready? So that music was tuned to 432 hertz. That is a very sacred frequency. And those sounds are anointed sacred sounds that we're using. And music is everything. It's food. It's the vibration of the universe. It's the vibration of the sun and its relative distance to the earth. It's the sound of the stars, the birds, the crickets. It's all music. It's all sound. It's all frequency. Our attitudes, what we eat, how we eat, when we eat, how we love, when we love, where we love. It's all based on sound, based on frequency, coming and being a part of the orchestra of life, the universal vibration. Is that all right? Now, I am going to ask a few questions. And before I do that, it would be best each day if we give ourselves permission. Give ourselves permission to be, just to be what we desire to be. Give ourselves permission each day. And if you do this each day, give yourself permission. Then all of a sudden, you become part of a universal commission. And you become a commissioner. And you become anointed in your own oneness, in your own beingness. When you allow yourself to be yourself, and you anoint and appoint yourself and vote for yourself first, and everything else becomes a vortex. So select yourself and give yourself permission right now. And now I'd like to ask for permission. Sometimes we speak without permission. Sometimes, we tend to talk without asking if there are truly listeners and if somebody really, truly cares. Is it okay that we talk about some things that you may not have heard before? Or if you have, you may not have heard in this way, with this flow. Is it okay that if we share some things, is that all right? Is it okay that we possibly have a little fun tonight? Shake off some of the seriousness of the moment and get into the flow and the vibration of joy. Is it okay if we maybe get a little highly spirited? Let's call it that. Is that okay? Is it okay? And is it also okay if we stir the pot and agitate some things within all of us that may aggravate some things within all of us. But see, that's how a washing machine works. It has a thing inside called an agitator. And it begins to shake off the dirt, shake off all the stuff we no longer desire. Sometimes we need an agitator. Sometimes we need something that aggravates us to the point where we choose to move or to let go. That is important. Is it okay if we move forward in that spirit? Is that okay? Let me write down just a couple things as you get your mind together and breathe and just relax for a second. Okay. Welcome. If you're here for the first time, welcome. And if you're here for the first time, let us know that you're here for the first time and how you found out about this session. If you're here for the first time, how did you find out about this? If you've been here before, how did you hear about it? Some of you are newbies and some are recent, but some of you go way back to the days when we were on Pico Boulevard in Los Angeles, almost 20, maybe 22 years ago. We welcome you all from around the world. We now know that we are reaching the planet and the stars. This message goes out to all those who desire to know a little more, or those who would just like some inspiration, or those who would just like to have a little fun. This message goes out to the seekers. How many of you are seekers, seeking to know more about wellness, more about health, good health, more about changing the way we've been living, changing our perspective? If you're interested in change, then you're here at the right time, at the right place. If you're in no way interested in change, then you're welcome to stay. But, when you get caught up in the feeling, you may be ready to let go of some of that stuff that you've been sitting on. You see, I allow is a huge statement because it says that everything already is in existence. Everything is already happening. The past, the present, the future are all here in this tense and not in the nowness. Everything that we desire is here now, but we can't see it because our frequency, our range of frequency as what we call human beings is narrow. Our range of hearing is narrow. Our range of sight is narrow. Our range of knowingness is narrow. Even our range and spectrum of feelings and emotions can be narrow. when we just recognize that what we think we know is narrow. In fact, most of what you think you know may not at all be factual. Most of what we have learned, what we've been told and programmed to feel, to think, is narrow. The road to hell is wide. Hell is not a place, it's a space that lives in the mindset of those who live there, stay there. The road to heaven is narrow. But when you are able to focus on creating more heaven, things open up. When you're ready to create more heaven on earth, when you're ready to create more joy, when you're ready to open your ears, open your eyes, open up your senses, you become more sensational. But it takes time. But a lot of what you have learned from those who were in charge was designed to test you. It was designed to slow you down. Because only the best cannot be stopped. Only the winners win, because winners have a winning sound. Winners have a winning walk. Winners have a way of talking. Winners have a way of listening and eating. Winners have a way of moving. Winners have a way of vibrating, and they cannot be stopped no matter what, no matter how many trials and tribulations. Winners all have this in common. And I'd like to say that all of you have the ability to be winners. All of us have the ability to be winners. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have found this station, this channel. You wouldn't have found this platform. In fact, a lot of people may have hung up as soon as they heard a few words, because they are on a different road, and that's okay. Let's not judge other people's roads and other people's journeys, because when you do that, you're minding their business. You have to narrow your vision and be focused on what you desire. Be focused on a place, a destination. Otherwise, you'll get caught up in other people's stuff. When you allow yourself to open up and change and grow and open up and let go of some of the stuff that no longer serves you, allow yourself to live in this present moment. This is the gift. It's the gift of nowness. This is to now. Tomorrow becomes tomorrow. And in this place, know that all is possible by allowing yourself to be your best self, allowing yourself to move towards a goal, allowing yourself to go through the storms, through the trial, through the tribulation. Allow yourself to keep moving no matter what is pulling you, no matter who is out there, no matter what is happening. You are focused on allowing yourself to walk, to move, to fly, to go over the storm like the falcon, to fly high, to be focused on an outcome, by creating an income and an outcome based on moving from where you are now. Are you ready to elevate your life? Because it is time. Have you been listening to the news? Because it's loud. They're yelling right now. The manufactured news is loud. It's telling you, watch me, believe this, go along with this. This is real. Look here, look here. The mainstream, right, is under the virus of mass distraction because they're listening to the news, either of their friends, their peers, the neighborhood, the networks that are netting you and working you. That's why they're called networks, because you're like fish being caught if you allow yourself to focus on the manufactured news. But the news that I'm speaking of now doesn't speak in the same language as they do. Once you become quiet, after you have selected yourself and anointed and appointed yourself to get quiet, if only for 1 minute, if only for one day, if only for one night, you will hear the real news that's being broadcast. And that is the news that the season brings. That is the news. What nature is saying. And within just a few days, nature is urging us to change. How many of you can hear it? How many of you are listening to nature? Because nature talks, and it's the real news. The real news is the sun and what the sun is saying to you. The real news is Mother Earth and what she is saying to you. The real news is the stars and the planets. The real news is the environment and the energy around the planet. The real news is the sound of the birds, the bees, and the crickets. The real news is the sound of your heartbeat. And the real news is the sound of your gut telling you, talking to you, giving you what? Choices, decisions, and little words and ideas and pictures that will guide you to your destination. That is the news. And it's loud. If you get quiet, when you are too loud, then you might not hear the falling of the leaves, which make a very loud, quiet sound. If you could just hear the sound of a leaf as it falls from the tree, it makes a sound. If you're just quiet enough, if you're just quiet enough, you can hear the leaf as it falls, as it moves through the atmosphere. Some of you know what I'm talking about. That sound is the sound of autumn, of fall. That sound is loud and it's telling you and speaking to you, telling you that it's time for autumn. It's time to collect what you have gathered throughout the summer, in the spring. The sound of fall is like a whisper. The sound of the leaf. Those sounds are extremely loud but quiet at the same time. Some of you know exactly what we're saying. Are you ready to listen to that sound that is not perceivable in the busyness of most people's lives? Because a lot of people are moving fast, chasing their tails. A lot of us have not had time to really listen to the sounds of the seasons. The sound of the seasons, the sound of summer, winter, fall, and spring. The sound of the earth vibrating at about 7 cycles per second, sometimes 8, sometimes it goes up to 13. It hums, it makes a sound. Just before certain things happen, there is a sound. If you're quiet enough, you can hear it. So as we listen right now, quietly outside, with your naked feet on the ground, the trees are talking. The squirrels are gathering. The birds are flocking. The sounds of the crickets has changed. The cicadas are singing. And they're saying it's time. The equinox is upon us. The equinox this year on the 22nd, which is what? Is that next week? Is that Monday? Everything changes. That's when the sun is right over the equator. Let's get into this a little more. Let me see if I have some slides I can show. Are you willing to stand alone for a while as you integrate the necessary changes for your new foundation? This takes being silent with yourself and stand alone for just a minute or two, just a day or two, just a night, just a section of time that you choose, and prioritize yourself. Give yourself the priority, give yourself the authority to just listen outside. Walk in the leaves. If you walk, you will hear. You will hear nature begin to talk to you. Because as we go into fall, everything changes, especially this particular fall, 2024. This fall is one where we will either rise or fall. They call it fall because the leaves are falling and the energy is moving down from the trees into the trunk, into the roots. Now, this is in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, just the opposite is happening because everything in nature is connected to its opposite. So, below the equator, they're beginning to go into springtime. It's just the opposite. But the key is to be willing to allow yourself to stand alone, to take in the new message, the autumn equinox of 2024. Are you ready to let go of outdated thoughts, beliefs? Did it say that? No. Outdated thoughts, behaviors, reactions, and limiting beliefs to make room for a new root system? Are you ready? Because in order to improve the fruit, we have to what? Feed the roots. That's where everything starts, in your root. When it all falls down, when the leaves fall down, that's the time to let it all go and allow the best you to rise this fall. Are you ready for that? It's funny, people are talking about the news here, and then I'm talking about the good news, the natural news, not the news that's yelling at you, trying to tell you what to believe in and what to go for. This is the news, the powerful news of nature. September. September etymology is septim or seven. This is because it was the 7th month on the older calendars when March was the first month of the year. So on the Gregorian calendar, it's 9. But on the old calendar, it's 7. So you can look at either one of those. We're not going to get too technical, whether it's a 7 or a 9. We just want to bring your attention to it's also 7. 7 has to do with Christ consciousness. 7 has to do with you waking up from the deep sleep and having a crystallized imagination. 7 is the letters G, P, and Y. What does September mean? According to the original Roman Republican calendar, September was the 7th month of the year rather than the 9th. The Roman calendar was only 10 months long and included the following months: Martius, Aprilis, Maius, Junius, what is that? Junius, Quintilis, Sextus, September, October, November, and December. The last 6 months were assigned names according to their ordinal numbers. Quintilis was 5th month. Sextilis was the 6th month, and so on. September, as you know, as you can see, is the 7th month. Wow. How many of you knew this? And to be able to realize that 9 and 7 both have incredible energies. It helps you navigate when you know the numbers and the vibration and the tone and the frequency of the season, of the music, of the talk, of the vibration within your emotions. It is important to know because you're an instrument. We are instruments in a cosmic orchestra. Autumn equinox. Now, this date here is wrong because I'm using an old slide. You'll see it says the autumn equinox happens on September 20. Look at that. 23rd. Listen to that. Look how that is. That was a typo. September 23rd. Oh my God, you got to laugh. I remember making this too. I was moving fast. A lot of times we're moving so fast that we miss little details. But that won't happen again because we're going to fix this. But it's September 22nd, 2024. Because these slides are a little old, this particular one. So as you can see, the sunlight, the sun's energy is hitting right at the equator, which is an imaginary line through the middle of the earth, around the middle of the earth. So it's an imaginary line, but it also it's actually energetic, and it has to do with the magnetism, the way the magnetism from the North Pole and the South Pole meet. This imaginary line where the energies change because the energy of the equator is moving, of the southern hemisphere is moving one way, and the energies of the northern hemisphere are moving a separate way. It's like a vortex, two different spins. So the water, when it goes down the drain in the northern hemisphere, it spins to the right. And in the southern hemisphere, it spins to the left. This is why it's important to know where you are and what kind of spin you're in. What kind of spin? What's your spin? What kind of spin you putting on your life? What kind of spin was put on you? What are the spin masters attempting to get you to believe? The spin masters. You know who they are. The trees, they begin to turn colors. And if you ride through the country, you will see that many of them, those colors relate to the colors of the chakras. Have you noticed that? They're showing you. And you know, this is another thing that's deep. Did you know that nobody sees the same colors? We've all agreed what to call certain things. But each person has an individual perception of what something is. So even though we all say this is red, each person sees that red a little differently. Even though we say this is green, each person sees that green a little differently. Smells. Nobody has the same smell. Did you know this? Did you know that nobody hears sounds exactly the same? That means that we're all individual. And we've all agreed, based on, agreements that, what to call something, that's what it is. But actually it is to a point, but it isn't, because each person is different. And we all can't think the same, be the same, hear the same, feel the same. Everything is different for each person. We are all completely different. And we're not supposed to be the same. Now, we may all use the same references, but keep in mind, we're all uniquely individual. No fingerprints are the same. No two blades of grass the same. No two snowflakes. No two dandelion leaves are the same. No two apples are the same. Nothing is identically the same. This fall is different than last fall. It's not the same. Why? Well, first of all, we got to go back to spring. When the leaves began to grow on the tree, did they grow in the same positions that they grew in the year before? Each year, that tree has leaves that are growing in a brand new place. It's expanding, it's expressing itself and changing and growing each year. So that means when you go to the fall, it's a different fall. This is not the same fall. This is not the same autumn. Everything has changed. So when you start making agreements to think that everything is the same and we're all the same and we all should be treated the same and everybody has the same way of looking at things, this is where you get mental illness, because you start forcing a square peg into a round hole. I guess if you bang hard enough, it will go. But it is that programming that we're beginning to let go of, realizing that everybody is uniquely different. Everybody perceives pain differently. Everybody perceives love differently. So as we see these trees, as they begin to change colors, did you know, if you're quiet, listen to me now, they will talk to you. And those colors are messages for your eyes. The way you see it is your way of seeing it. This is extremely important because each person is going to have a different experience. This is beautiful. That's why you're here, to be different. You think you're here to be the same? You have to join the group just because they say that's the group you're supposed to be with? You have to be a certain way because everybody says that you have to join and be a part of something? The most powerful people and some of the most successful people travel alone, do things alone, or they spend certain amounts of time alone. This is really important. I'm about to get to the mother lode. We're all having a different experience. Allow people to have their experience. Don't force people to be what you want them to be. The sun inside of you is the solar plexus. Autumn is an opportunity for balancing, calibrating, and omitting so that the inner sun, the solar plexus, can emit light energy. Whoa! There's a sun inside of us. The solar plexus. What does solar mean? Inside of you. It's the largest bundle of nerves in the body. Plexus means a bundle. And did you know that the solar plexus, which is below your navel in your gut, it's wrapped up in your gut. It's all of these nerve endings and nerves, right? And neurons that are wrapped up with your gut and part of the gut bacteria or the gut microbiome. The whole system is bundled together and it glows. Are you aware of this? If there's a sun inside of you that's been being fed with light every day of the summer and the spring and throughout the year, you're picking up light, you're digesting light into your body. We're photovoltaic. We pick up light and turn it into energy. Are you aware of this? I mean, they got you wearing sunscreen and shades on your eyes. Did you know a lot of people, and this is a fact, a lot of people ended up with major illness from wearing sunglasses because they said the light was too bright. Now, there are some people who have certain, imbalances where they have to wear sunglasses. So I'm not saying everybody, but the average person who's wearing sunglasses is hiding. They're shading. Some people are shady. That's why they wear shades. So you can't see their eyes. You can't look at their eyes. They can speak to you with those glasses on and you really can't see where they're at. Not everyone. I'm just saying some people. But when you wear glasses outside in the summer, in the spring, sunglasses, unless you have full spectrum sunglasses, which you can find, full spectrum sunglasses still they shade the sun and the UV rays and all of that, but they still let the natural light through. But most people are not going to find them or be ready to afford them. They're just going to wear whatever they can find. whatever they can afford, or whatever looks sexy or fancy. But that light that would normally be reaching into your eye, into your retina, right, into your nerve, straight back to your pineal gland is being blocked. You talk about your pineal gland being calcified. No, it's being shaded because you want to be shady, because you was taught to be shady since the beginning. So that light, which is going through your eyes, going through your skin, going through your hair, it goes down the vagus nerve, goes through the core of the body into the solar plexus, where it is turning that oven up. It's feeding that light. The solar plexus is like a bundle of nerves and a battery. Your gut is a battery. Did you know this? It holds and stores electricity. It's full of capacitors, resistors, transformers, and diodes. Did you know this? Induction coils and transmitters, transistors, transformers. Did you know this? And I'd like to welcome y'all that are here now. If you're here for the first time, please put first time in the chat room. If you're hearing this information for the first time, say, hey, I'm hearing this for the first time. Never thought about this. You don't have to put anything in the chat room because the chat is pretty busy. Folks have a lot to say. My highest choice is that while you're chatting, you're hearing the message that's really for you. Because this message is very, very specialized. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Only for those who have eyes who can see, ears who can hear, taste buds that can taste. Those who have a nose that can truly smell, and a nervous system that can truly feel what's for you, because everything is not for you. This message may not be for you, and that's okay. But your gut knows. It's called the gut feeling. Your body knows everything. Your body never lies. And I'm glad to see so many of you have signed up for our class on kinesiology, which starts this Saturday at 11 a.m. The body never lies. And we're going to be teaching something that we have never taught before this way. Something that is important for this particular time to use as a tool so that you know your way around your house, the earth, so that you know a yes or a no without guessing with your cranial brain. We'll be teaching a basic type of personal kinesiology, a muscle testing. This is of the utmost value. For Dr. B, this was life-changing. Learning this technique was the thing that changed everything. And my highest choice is that you will join us on Saturday and be ready to change everything. When you are ready to change, your gut bacteria, your solar plexus opens up, that battery, that capacitor opens up to receive more light from the universe. You have more capacity. But in order to heat up this energy, we have to get out of our cranial brains with all the thinking, and sometimes just put our naked feet on the ground and just breathe for a minute and just notice the beauty of nature and get away from the 6 o'clock news, the 12 o'clock news, and all the news on the internet just for a minute and just get into the newness of now. Because there's a great message coming this week or next week on what is it, Monday? One of the greatest messages, one of the greatest downloads will be coming. But people talk about downloads. Do you know you can only receive the same frequency of downloads as uploads that you send? Did you know this? Folks be waiting on the download. I keep hearing, hey, no, I'm waiting on downloads. I need to get some downloads. Well, what's your upload? All year long, the sun has been waving at you. All year long, our spiritual sun, Sirius, has been waving at you. All year long, Vega has been waving. All year long, Lyra has been waving. All year long, Hanabku has been waving. All year long, the universe has been waving, sending you waves of energy. And as you allow yourself to receive that energy, you have to be grateful and thankful and what? Say, at least I got it, and be thankful and send a wave back. Have you been waving back? That's your upload. Some folks can't get enough waves. They don't get enough stuff because they keep waiting to get stuff, and they're not being the stuff that they're sending back. What are you sending back to the universe? What are you giving back to the great mother? What are you giving back to the great father? What are you giving back to the grandmothers and the grandfathers? What are you giving back to the ancestors? What are you giving back to the ocean, to the air, to the animals, to nature? What are you giving back? That you've been taught to want. You sound like a crashing plane, don't it? Allow is the word. Allowing yourself to open up. Have your hands open like this. Never mind all this, you doing all this shaking, trying to ask the universe or God or somebody for something. Open your hands up and allow yourself, right, to send a wave out. And that signal as it goes out, as you wavecast into the quantum field, you will receive messages equal to the amount of energy you send out. Huh? What are you sending out? What are you judging? When the sun is directly over the equator on the 22nd, the energy and the light waves are equal. It's the equator that the sun is over. The equinox means equal day, equal night. It's the time when time stands still. It's the time to let go of all this other stuff and be nothing. Be nothing. Because what we call the feminine energy and the masculine energy are equal. They're equally balanced. Equilibrium. It's a day of equalness. It's not a day of judgment. It's not a day to be victims and to be joining in this and stating that you're that and be nothing. Because the sun's energy, the magnetism from the North and South Pole is equal. It's a time for equality. It's a time when the yin and the yang are both existing at the same time. Male and female is happening at the same time. All things are happening and they come to a standstill just for this particular time. Time stands still. And your gut and in every cell in your body begins to shift and change because a new season is upon us. Seasons are like seasonings. There's going to be a new flavor happening this fall. And if you're still using the same flavorings from summer, then you're going to miss out on fall, and it's going to make you, what? Fall on your face. Because fall is the time to rise. But for a minute, just on that equinox, become equal. Attempt to be nothing. Let your breath, your inhale and your exhale be equal. On that day, let go of judgment. Let go of fear and anger. And just allow yourself to feel equal. Allow yourself to be balanced. Allow yourself the transition time between two seasons. Just that transition time between two seasons will change everything. It will have a lot to do with on how you harvest this year. Reaching homeostasis and balance is what the equinox is about. That means we got to let a lot of baggage go, because half the baggage you got is not even yours. Half the luggage you got is not even yours. They're knockoffs. And they're going to knock you off. On that day, the 21st, attempt to not be male, female, or anything. Don't be queen. Attempt to not be king. Let go of titles for one day. Don't worry, the next day you can take them back. I'm telling you that on this particular day, there will be an energy that will come down through the galaxy that will change your life. If you allow. 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 For one day. For one night. For one morning. One afternoon. Maybe fast. Because you've been eating things so fast that maybe this day you should go into a slow. You have a fast. Go into a slow. Because sometimes people say fast and they mean, I'm on a fast, and they're eating as fast as they can. Because everybody thinks they know what fast means. Well, it depends on what you're talking about, who you're talking to. Fast food. Somebody told me the other day, they said, well, I'm on a fast. What you doing? Eating all the fast food I can. Huh? Fast food. This is the fast food day. You never know what people think and how they feel truly and what they're really doing. So get out of their business. This is about you, which is a we, because there's billions and billions and billions of life cells living within you that have come together to make you up. The mitochondria that's in each of our bodies are living alien creatures that don't even need you to live. They've just all come together and agreed to be you. Do you feel what's being said? Never mind what the other people are doing. That's none of your business. Never mind what they said that you should be doing on this day. Go into yourself. You will create your own ceremony. Take that day, the 22nd, which is Monday. Even if you got to go to work, just take 7 minutes off during your break. Maybe not eat. Maybe move away from the microwave that day. Maybe that day don't drink something or eat something that you normally would eat that's causing a habit. These are just suggestions. Do as you please. I am saying that there is a huge download coming, but it's only going to be equal to your upload. And if you are silent, and if you're a nothing, no one thing, then you will receive more, because your bathtub, your capacitor, which is your gut, will be open for you to what? Allow more energy, more light, more water, more frequency, more sound, more love, more peace, more harmony. They say it's Sunday. I don't know what day it is. Sunday, Monday, you get your calendar. Actually, it's really interesting because what some of y'all are calling Sunday is actually Monday. It is on the calendar. It says Sunday. I'm going to give you a little secret. Did you know that every cosmic event is 3 days? So they tell you it's Sunday. I've been saying Monday. But it's actually Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The peak of it is on Sunday. They even tell you the time. What's the time here? You know, these folks done figured this out, and they'll tell you exactly what time the thing is. Let's see. Fall equinox. What do they say? Uh-oh. Listen to this, y'all. Sunday, September 22nd, 2024, at 7:43 a.m. That's exactly what time it happens? For who? It's right at that moment. What about 7:44? It's not happening. It's over. It's like your soulmate. You know what I'm saying? You met your soulmate. You were deep in love, and now y'all broke up. Now you don't get another soulmate. Why are things so what? Strict and digital? Start on Saturday. Start on Saturday creating something new. So you don't have to get to Sunday and all of a sudden start doing this thing because you're caught on it being exactly when they told you it was. When in fact, the sun is over the equator for 3 days. It's at its peak at a certain time. Even the full moon. Is it the full moon now? Or was it yesterday? Or is it tomorrow? Depends on your perspective. Everything tastes different. Everything is different. If you say today is the full moon, well, that's from your perspective and your vantage point of where you are on the earth. Did you know that? Everything is based on your vantage point. If you don't feel you can leave the house without your lucky crystal, you're going to have bad luck, then bad luck. That's what you got. That's what you got. Because you believe it. Because the programming that we allow can either liberate us or keep us stuck. But when you are in equal and you're in balance and you're in homeostasis, that's love. That's true love. You're not too far this way, too far that way. So allow the equinox to help create an equality within you. Feel that. Feel yourself being at balance and at peace and at love and in harmony. Somebody says, why is that date 2 years ago? That's because, we use the old slide. I know people are, it's old. Never mind that. Okay? Never mind. Let that go. There's no perfection. And Dr. B is definitely not perfect. So that is a old slide. For those of you I see, some of the things I noticed in the chat, people want to know. We look at things and we want it to be perfect. There is no perfection. There is no perfect time to change. While you're being in the equinox and the energy of equality and you're being nothing, you can help yourself. By what? Going through what's called the transition time. Excuse me. Let's talk a little bit about transition time. In our busy, busy world, we're moving fast. We're going from place to place, through doorways, through thresholds. We're going from this deal to that deal, this phone call to that phone call, this website to that website. we're scrolling through the phone and the laptop or the iPad or whatever you're using, your whatever. We're always moving information every day, all the time. There's very little time for rest. And even when you rest, you don't rest because you're restless. Why are you restless? Because your mind is still what? Taking in all that information and all that stuff from all day long. There's one thing that you can do that will change your reality and change your environment is if you employ transition time. So let's say you drive to work and you're late. You're rushing to get there. And, we're always rushing to get to work, right? Because we got rushing hands and roaming fingers constantly. We're moving. You like that? Rushing hands and roaming fingers. It's actually a song that I wrote many years ago with Shawnice Wilson when she was about 12 years old called Rushing Hands and Roaming Fingers. You know what that song was about. The boy on the playground, he had rushing hands and roaming fingers. And she was saying, he's too freaky. He's too freaky for me. Slow it down. Create a transition time. So as you're about to get out your car, you stop and breathe and just sit there for a minute. But I'm late. You already late. So what? Being 2 minutes more late is going to change everything. If they're going to fire you for you're already late. So you figure 5 more minutes, you're going to be even later. So they're going to fire you even more. You're sitting here to fire up your solar plexus. I'm telling you how to fire it up. It's like a hearth. It's like an oven. That's where the triple burner is. Some people know about the triple burner. If not, look it up. And you just breathe. Maybe close your eyes. And before you walk into another place, another space, another dimension, you just breathe for a minute. Just 7 times maybe. Then get out your car and walk through the threshold. You'll have a whole different perspective. Well, let's say you don't drive. You walk to work or you take a bus or you Uber. Before you walk through another threshold, because a threshold, if you look up the word, it has to do with thrashing. There's energy outside that doorway and there's energy on the other side because you're about to go through a dimensional shift. You're about to change timelines just by walking through a door. So, to be more intentional, before we cross into a different dimension, a different environment, we breathe and sit there. And now every cell in your body, every part of your auric field, every part of your magnetosphere, your mind, your spirit, your soul, the friendly bacteria, every part of you is now ready to make a shift. And it's not going to be a shock. But when you're just running through doors and shifting, you're causing shock waves. And this is why a lot of folks get tired and they get old and they get burned out. Because they're not celebrating the place that they're coming from so that they now can take in the new place. Because a lot of times you're going to a new place with the old stuff, with your old feelings and your old emotions, and you haven't taken enough time to breathe into the new place. Take a break, just a quick one. So today, some of you saw on IG, I did a radio show that actually slipped my mind. Didn't remember it till last night sometime. So I had to move some things around in the schedule to get there because my word is my bond. Your word is your bond. Your word is bound. What? To what? To something. Your word is important. I gave these people my word or our word, my daily word, our daily word. Notice I'm changing and transforming the language as I speak. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. So then I had to go all the way to the other side of town right after this lecture. I mean, this interview, which was good, by the way. Some of you saw it. New people, I never met them before. We ended up becoming family on the spot. I had to travel all the way to the other side of the city. Every car in the world seemed to be on the road. And I got to where I was, and I had to handle that business quickly and get back here because there didn't seem like there was enough time to get back here on time to do this webcast. And I was rushing to get here so I could be online right on time. But just before I got out the car, even though I was seemingly running late, I stopped and I just breathed. Brove. Just breathed in the past. I just made up a new word, brove. I brove. Then just before I came on the air, I sat down. Check it out. We're supposed to start at 7. It was 1 minute before 7. I took just that 1 minute and brove. I like that word. And created transition time from all the things I'd done all day. Because some of us do more in a day than some folks do in a year. Sometimes we do more than some folks do in a lifetime. You know that. I brove. I really like that. Y'all like the way that feels? Brove. I wonder how you spell it. Brove. You know what I'm saying? Brove. Past tense of breathe. Why can't I make up words? I mean, all the words we speaking are made up. You're not speaking correctly. What is correctly? This is a man-made, messed up language anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's English. It's an angle on it. I don't really know what the words really mean. Yeah, you got 48 sounds and 24 letters. Is that right? I don't even know if that's right because they're always making up new stuff. J is a brand new letter. You mean J is brand new? Yeah, they just made up J recently. That brings up a lot of questions. If J is a brand new letter, what the heck is going on? What was it before it was J? Wow. So that transition time got me to calm down. And I changed timelines. Because when I got out of my automobile, I was already too late to make it here on time. But I just sat there and did the broving. Now it's broving. The word is expanding. Broving. Breathing in the past. Broving. No, it's brove with a V, y'all. Y'all trying to spell it. It's not brove. It's brove. Try to spell that with a V. Brove. Improvisation. Okay, stop, Dr. B. Be serious. Get back on the subject. Transition time. He changed the environment so that now all of a sudden the clocks changed. And I was here right on time. Because you're never truly late. The man asked me on the radio show today, he says, well, Dr. B, what took you so long? Oh, what took so long? I said, what do you mean what took so long? There's no time. But what took you so long to come out and do? I've been out. What are you talking about? You haven't heard of me. What took you so long? What you saying? Hey, Dr. B, you're way ahead of your time. How can I be ahead of my time? Now, see, if I start believing that, right? and I started letting that be my new reality, that I'm before my time, I'm what? I'm going to be retarded. That means late. We are in the time we're supposed to be in. We're here now because we're at the right time while the sun is about to arrange itself in a, well, the sun is not changing its position. It's the earth on its axis. There's a wobble. So what's happening is the earth is positioning itself so that the energy and the light is equal. So we're all here at this particular time having this talk to create equality. So we could be we instead of me and they and them and there. Let's just be we in oneness. Is that all right? So for those of you who are worried about whether it's Sunday, Monday, doesn't make any difference. You are the sun. We just said that you have a sun within you. So any day you decide and choose, you can become equal. And that's what wellness is about. Wellness is about finding equality, finding balance, creating balance, seeking balance, being a seeker of balance. Wellness. Wellness. Balance. Health. Good health is when you're in balance. When you're not so healthy, you're out of balance. We have to find out, what do we need? What deficiencies are happening to create this disease? What if we were to all agree that on this equinox, we will let go of things that have been keeping us out of balance? Could we agree to that? And don't wait till Sunday or Monday. Do it to now. Tonight. Would that be okay? Now you ain't got to wait on these dates on calendars, because I don't know who made the calendar anyway. Yeah, they already told you the calendar's off. We don't know what day it really is. Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? I think that's a song by Chicago. Is that who it's by? I'm not sure if anybody really hears what I'm saying the way I feel it. So it's up to you to feel it the way you're feeling it. Feel it and take the power in the words and use them the way you like. Take the power in the moment as we go through this crossover. It's a crossover as the sun crosses across the equator. It's about balance. It's about finding equal balance as we go into the season where the trees and all of nature begins to change. And it drops its leaves. The trees are dropping their leaves, they're dropping the tools. It's dropping the things of the past that it used. Those are tools of the past that are no longer desirable in the winter. So the tree lets go of its leaves. Are you ready to let go of your leaves and leave some of that stuff behind? Or do you need to stay stuck in the mud? It's okay if you don't. Or if you don't choose to do whatever. This is up to you. It's your choice. The only time is now. There is no time. We're timeless. We're truly timeless. Your body never lies. Your body needs certain things. It needs to let you, your body would like you to find balance and to have transition times between things. Sometimes you just need to go for a walk before, you're feeling all these emotions and you're going off. Just go for a walk, because when you walk, it's what? It's a meditation. Walking is a meditation. There's very powerful walking meditations. Somebody's talking about pollution. I'm saying a lot of people have polluted their own selves, their own minds. It's not about what they did to us. It's what are we doing to us each day ourselves. What are you choosing to eat? What are you choosing to wear? Are you wearing clothes made of microfibers and, you know what I'm saying? Eating foods that's, food from 5 seasons ago that was frozen and brought on a truck and ripened chemically? That's you choosing. The solar plexus, a complex of radiating nerves of the sympathetic nervous system at the pit of the stomach. It has to do with your personal power and inspired action. A balanced solar plexus. It has to do with energy, strength, confidence, strong will, mental balance, good health, being active, having high esteem, high self-esteem, good digestion, focused on completing goals, aka the harvest. Read it. Your solar plexus has a lot to do with you being in the right place, in the right space during the equinox, when the sun is directly over the equator, on whatever day you choose for it to be. Even if the physical sun, which you don't know is totally physical, and the physical earth, which you don't know if it's totally physical. So that means that you could change anything in your mindset if you are what? Full of the feeling of creating an equinox in your life. I'm just saying that. Don't worry about it if you think you missed it, because you haven't missed anything. As soon as you have knowledge of something, it comes online. An imbalanced solar plexus, chronic fear, lack of energy, weakness, fatigue, low self-esteem, worthlessness, powerlessness, indigestion, liver issues, unresolved anger, self-sabotage, drifting, consuming too much, lack of what? Wiseness, depression, and mood swings. How many of you are drifting? How many of you are drifters? See, a drifter is a person who just goes out and blows with the wind. They don't have any goal. A drifter is a person that lets the environment around them choose where they're going. And that's okay, because this could work for you. But the devil always attempts you to get off of your path. The devil is the energy that would reduce you, consume you. But it can only take over if you allow it. As a drifter. Why are you drifting? Well, my friends are drifters. I like being with the drifters. Wandering. Wandering for 40 years. 40 days and 40 nights. Just wandering. Following the blind. Why? Because somebody told you that's what you do. These are your constituents. This is what we do. We wander. We drift. Drift sometimes is you not focusing on your stuff. You're not minding your business, you and everybody else's business, listening to the news and what they told you to look at and what they told you is happening, who they said was bad, who they said was good. And you're watching the news. And the newscaster, we found evidence today of, and then back to you, Jim. Back to you, Jane. Actually, what they're saying, you're formulating in your mind, you're making your own choices and decisions based on what they're saying and how you feel about it. It may not have anything to do to you, nothing to do with you, unless you're just a drifter and you don't stay focused on your goal. Going into this equinox, going into this next season, let go of the leaves. Let go of all that stuff, as much of it as you can, and let it turn into fertilizer. Isn't that what the leaves are doing? Those leaves are going to fertilize. They're going to become humus. They're going to become part of the soil. That's what soil is old decomposed plant matter and animal matter and all the stuff. It decomposes and becomes soil. Doesn't go to waste. Nothing goes to waste. Nothing is wasted. 3 magic words. Nothing goes to waste. Nothing is wasted. Everything is used. Even the garbage can be used. So find a use for everything. Some things you need to send to the solar plexus, which is also known as the Hara point. The Hara point. The Hara point is a point deep inside your solar plexus that you can use to create new energy or to vaporize, churn up, turn into ashes, old ideas. Ring around the rosies. A pocket full of posies. Do y'all know this? What are they talking about? Ring around the rosies. There's energy around roses that moves in these concentric rings and spirals. Roses have some of the highest vibration of almost any plant in North America, which is actually apples. Apples are roses. They're the same family. And that little rose hip at the bottom you see after the rose is gone is a little apple. They have a lot of nutrition. There's a ring, there's energy around the roses. A pocket full of posies. Posies are little flowers that actually can ward off evil. Did you know this? You use this to ward off the parasite called Wetiko. So you carried it in your pocket during the time of plague. Ashes, all fall down. Do you hear what this is about? This was created during the time of the plague. They're talking about how to make it through the plague. It was the people of Ethiopia and the Moors and the Dogons and all of these people that came to Europe during that plague that almost took everybody out. And they said you're going to need to use roses and posies to create an elixir, a potion of posies. Posies, they're stuck. They have a certain look about them. Look up posies. They're posing. The word positive means to be stuck and focused on one thing or one goal. That's what positive means, posing. Ashes, ashes. You got to burn the bodies, the clothes of all those people who had the plague, turn them into ashes. And those ashes are some of the best fertilizers there are. Because where those people, where their ashes were thrown, you had some of the most incredible harvests years later. Did you know this? It's children on the playground, ring around the rosies. And it's actually one of those songs, one of those nursery rhymes that it's actually about life. Da, 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 da. Ashes, ashes, all fall down. Wow. Roses. It's got rose. It's got a lot to do with the root chakra. It's got a lot to do with blood and the consistency of the blood. There were songs, stories, and myths that were created about the sun and about the equinox and about the solstices. They still exist. You got to go look for them. But the song within you, the sound of the dolphins, the sounds of the bees. The other day, a bee was in my hand. It must have been maybe 5-6 minutes. We have movies of the bee crawling on my hand because I'm connected with the bees. They make a sound, bzzz, and that sound is 528 hertz or 528 cycles per second, which is another one of those special healing tones. And if you listen to the medicine music that we have at elevationtime.com, we have songs that are created in the frequencies of 432 and 528. You can go and download that over at elevationtime.com and listen to those frequencies. We have the sounds of bees that I recorded. I actually stuck my hand with a recording device, a microphone, into a tree that had a hole. I stuck my hand directly into the hive and recorded the bees. Not one bee stung Dr. B. Because at that point, I was in balance. My breathing was balanced. Inhale and exhale evenly. My balance on my feet was even. My mind was clear. It's like I was at the equinox of my mind, thinking nothing, no one thing, no fear, no joy, no nothing. Just be quiet and breathe. And the bees allowed me to record them. We're using it on some of the songs on the medicine music projects that are at elevationtime.com. We got birds and bees that we recorded. We recorded water, oceans. We have the sounds of the sun setting, the sounds of the sun rising. Yes, they make a sound. The sounds of the equinox and the solar plex and the solar and the solstice. They make a sound. Yes, if you could get quiet enough. We use that with the music and the sounds from all over the world to create what we call medicine music. It's at elevationtime.com. Have y'all been to elevationtime.com? How many of you know about elevationtime.com? Go over there and check out what we're doing and who we're being. Autumn. This season is connected to certain organs. The lungs. Breathe. Remember I said breathe. The kidneys. Kidneys have been holding on to a lot of emotion, especially the one we call fear. The stomach. The stomach is affected in this particular season. The stomach, it can tend to hold on to the emotion of worry, which is a war. You fighting the present time and thinking about something that didn't happen, that could happen is worry. Didn't happen, but you think it could happen. That's a type of fear. It's a type of worry. It's a fight. So autumn, notice it says AU, which is gold. Autumn is a time when the trees, many of them are turning gold. It's a golden time of year. It's a golden time of day. Frankie Beverly. So breathing is important. Kidney is very important. That's why when you get the elevated total body program, it has a product called liver powder, which is for the kidney, liver, and spleen, which are technically all basically the same organ in different positions. Did you know that? So this is the time to help feed your kidneys. This is the time to drink nettle tea. Nettle has a lot to do with kidneys, lungs, and stomach. So go get yourself some nettle tea. We don't have it at elevationtime.com, but we have, those are in almost all of our products at elevationtime.com. Oh, somebody says, what is the discount code? I knew it was coming. What is the discount code, Dr. B? Let's give you the discount code. If you'd like to go over and visit elevationtime.com and enjoy and invest in our sale, we're doing a sale until Sunday at midnight. And that discount code is FALL24. FULL 24, all one letter, or one word all together. You'll get 10% off of everything of $99 or more in your chart until this Sunday at midnight. If you'd like to, invest in some of the cleansing and detoxification, which supports the kidneys, right? The lung, the spleen, and helps to get rid of parasites, because this time of the season is when the parasites begin to change, because there's a group of parasites that live in the summer and they're active, and there's another group that takes over in the fall. There's parasites for every season. They're not all the same. They don't do the same thing. They don't act the same thing. You can't even get rid of them using the same herbs. Did you know that? You just heard the word parasites. Oh, this was black walnut and cloves and, wormwood. Which wormwood, by the way? You know how many wormwoods there are? Which wormwood? Which black walnut? Grown where? Did you know every black walnut tree is different? And in different parts of the world, they have different energies? Which cloves? Where are you getting your cloves from? It's not just about these herbs do this. It's where they're from. It's the time that they're harvested. It's who's harvesting them. All these things are what you have to take into consideration when you are purchasing or using herbal products. There's an alchemy. In fact, we have a class that we'll be putting together soon. It will be called Alchemical Metaphysical Herbalism. I don't know of a class that teaches this. I've never seen it. There's a lot of herbal classes and nutritional classes, and a lot of them are great. Alchemical and metaphysical herbalism? What is that? It's about how to make tonics and tinctures that are not just tonics and tinctures. They are elixirs, because they're using herbs, flower essences, essential oils, magnetic resonance, crystal waters. They're using light frequencies. This is what we use in all of our products at elevationtime.com, and that's what makes the difference. That's what was the energy, the light that came to Dr. B and went to his solar plexus. But this is the time for cleansing, because if your lungs, your kidney, and your stomach is affected, this is why it's flu season. Did you know why they call this season flu season? Because a lot of people because their stomach, listen to this, because their stomach and their intestines are so far off balance from the foods that you may have eaten and consumed during the summer, that these enteric viruses take hold. Enteric. You've heard the word just gently in the news. This is an enteric virus. Enteric means intestinal. Yeah, you're coughing from the lungs because there's a definite connection between the lung and the gut. You want to know how well the gut is working with digestion? Check out how you breathe. Check out the amount of energy you have from your lungs. They are brother and sister. They work together. So enteric is what a lot of these, what you call viruses and colds and things are. They're enteric. They're in your intestine, because the friendly bacteria in your gut, in your microbiome, is the second line of defense for disease. The skin is number one. Actually, it's the third. The mucosa lining in your nose and your ears and your eyes. That's number 2. Skin is number 1. But next is the gut. What have you been eating, or what's been eating you all summer long, all year long? Whose hands did you shake? Whose love did you make? Where were you? What did you breathe? How many parties did you go to? Was there new air in the party? Did everybody's breathing the same air? You think there's new air? Well, there is. There's, the ocean, and, they actually found some crystals now, some stones that actually make oxygen at the bottom of the ocean. They just found this. This is new. But the air is, we all have this in common. Breath, we have it in common. So we pass a lot of stuff. And that's why this season, a lot of people catch things, because we're sharing this environment. So there's things that you do to help you during this particular time so that you are not able to be disrupted and taken out of balance. But it starts with how you go into the season. So the first month of autumn is the most important, because the sun's energy has changed. The sunlight it's like the days get darker. Time begins to change. The days get shorter and shorter. Light has a lot to do with how you make electricity. We talked about that earlier, because we're photovoltaic. But it may not be as much light, or the light has to go through more oxygen or more atmosphere to get to you. So the light is dimmer in the northern hemisphere, which is why vitamin D3 is very important. So these organs have to do with autumn. Gold is important, which is why we have platinum, gold, and iridium and palladium in the product called what? Platinum Life Elixir. A lot of folks say, well, yeah, I take gold. I take the gold. Gold is great. Gold is even better when you put its friends with it. Platinum, palladium, iridium. These are M state, right? Or monoatomic elements. Very rare. Well, that's one of the things that I was, commissioned to do, was to create products like this that help to feed the season, help you get through the season. Now is the time to detoxify. The sun, the moon, and the stars and the planets stay in a spiraling, constant, perpetual alignment to help fulfill our heart's desires. As stated in The Alchemist by Coelho. I can't even say his name. Coelho. I wonder how you really say his name. I wonder how he says his name. Because, Americans, we say stuff the way it looks, and it may not be the way it sounds. But he says, and when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. Wanting is sometimes you just mentioning stuff a few too many times. Want. What do you desire? What are you moving towards? It's all basically from the same frequency range. One is at one end and one is at the other. But whatever you talk about is like what you're asking for. So what you would, to do best, you would ask for the greatest and allow the greatest to move through you this autumn. Become golden. Have more thoughts of being like gold, being more pure, being a better conductor. Because gold is a great conductor. But who is conducting you every day? How are you conducting your vessel? How are you conducting your ship? How are you conducting your affairs? It's very important, because gold is a great conductor. And when you become golden, as we move into the golden age, which we're almost at now, you got to become a great conductor of your affairs. That means you got to what? Take care of your business. And be focused on what you need to do, and stop being so focused on everybody else and what they didn't do and where they're at and what they did for you and what they took from you and who's the enemy and who's the out of me. That's a new one, the enemy and the out of me. The enemy is one in you, and the out of me is one outside of you messing with you, and it's all in your mind. You are a magnet. You are very attractive. Time to stop running away from the real you. If you are irritated by every rub, how will your mirror be polished? That's by Rumi. Y'all check out Rumi, the poet. Everything I've heard from Rumi is amazing. If you are irritated by every rub, how will your mirror be polished? To me, that's just profound. When you're ready to leave this world, the next one is up to you. That's from a song, Walk Grace by John Mayer. One of the deepest songs I have ever heard. And if you watched God Power 1, which is still available on our website, if you were at God Power 1, you remember that at the end, I played that song. And every time I play that song, I become emotional because it is the story of most of us attempting to create displacement, which is a boundary between us and the rest of the world, a silent place, a place where there's outside of good and bad. It's a field where there is nothing but you in that field. Go out into the field that isn't in the past, it isn't in the present. It's a field of possibilities. Go out in that field, lay in that grass, allow those flowers to consume you in the field where there is no right and wrong. And you create displacement and you let go. This autumn, begin to create displacement, quiet times, transitional times. It's the time to cleanse and detoxify. It's the time to let go. Setting boundaries is essential. Create what we call a submarine. Release the clutter, the people, the things, and the thoughts that are crowding and clouding our vision of the life we are designing. Did you know you're designing your life? Whatever you got, you are designing it. Fall begins the time of turning our attention inward. So set the tone for these last months of the year with meditation and prepare ourselves to be inspired into action and realign with our true selves and intention. No longer will we associate with this season with colds and flus and seasonal depression disorder. This fall is for rising. Let us help you come up with an elevated game plan so that you're not left out watching you're not just left watching football. I got to read that again. Let us help you come up with a game plan so that you're not out. I got to get this together. This is a deep one. Breathe, Dr. B. Use the other voice. Let us help you come up with an elevated game plan so that you're not just left watching football this season. What? Time to slow down. Sometimes in the midst of our daily grind, we lose sight of the bigger picture. We run around keeping busy, keeping up, moving fast from task to task to multiple tasks, as if keeping busy is the key to our success. A success that is oftentimes not yet defined for ourselves. You're running around looking for success. It hasn't been defined by you, for you, with you. So a lot of people, they do this thing in life. It's called fire, ready, aim. It's backwards. First, you have to get ready to move towards your goal. Then you must aim to get your goal in your sights. Then you must fire. Fire has to do with the solar plexus. It's the inner fire. It's the triple burner. It's the light within you. It's a fire. It's a hearth that is burning, lighting your way. But you must define, refine yourself, for yourself, by yourself, with yourself, so that you're not just out shooting off without aiming and without even being ready. to fire. Take your time. Find your transitional time. Put your naked feet on the ground. Listen for the leaves. Listen to the crickets and the birds. And if you listen carefully, you'll hear the stars talking to you. You'll feel the sun talking to your skin. You'll feel the moonlight on your hair. You'll hear the sounds of nature. The good news is in the sounds of the rustling leaves. The good news is the sound of the sun rising and setting. The beautiful news is the sound of the wind. And it's saying, wake up, 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 wake up. Do you feel it? And if you don't, just imagine you do. Often we lose sight of why. We seek constant validation. We seek likes. We become more motivated by stuff and the acquiring of more and more knowledge. This causes us to become blind to the energy found in real wisdom. We sometimes forget how to use our authentic power and use only force when we lose sight of our own rhythm and become involved in a brutal competition that destroys our natural creativity. All this causes us to get off course with the universe that's guiding your natural path. This Saturday, we begin a new course series, a class series. The body never lies. How many of you have signed up for the class? A show of hands, a show of fingers, a show of yeses. How's that? How many of you have signed up for the class? The body never lies. The art of choosing. Introduction to the science of personal kinesiology. What will be covered? Learn to tap into the most powerful energy in the universe. Would you like that? Kinetic muscle testing. Learn how to use your muscle to be a barometer to get a yes or no from the most powerful energy in the universe. The universe does not lie. Learning to ask the correct questions to receive a real, true, actual yes or no. Why the gut is often your most reliable guide. Gain insight into the roles of the superconscious, subconscious, and the conscious mind. We've taught many classes. This one is the master blaster. This is the bomb. Because when you are able to use this type of kinesiology, it helps you transcend your mind. It's also called applied kinesiology and behavioral kinesiology or psychological kinesiology, because it's a testing way of finding out what is an actual fact and what is a mistruth. Because a lot of what you think is truth is not actual facts. You can use this technique that we're going to teach. It's 3 classes. The first one is Saturday, this Saturday. You can use this technique to get a yes or a no on whether you should drink a certain tea, take a certain herb, go on a certain date, choose a certain product, move on a situation, create wealth. Do you know that this technique can help you become extremely wealthy? Because you can ask a question, if this investment is good for you, not if it's a good investment, is this a good investment for me? And this type of kinesiology will give you a yes or no. And people are saying, well, I know I use kinesiology all the time. I can guarantee only a few of you have ever done this type of kinesiology. There's many types. Exercise is kinesiology. That's the body. It has to do with kinetics, movement. You know what I'm saying? That's the science of, this is the science of muscles and movement. Kinesiology. This information and this technique, it transcends the known laws of the universe. It is used in science. I first learned a part of this in the science lab at UCLA. I watched how they used it. They were testing chemicals in a beaker. And they took this thing and they did this, they used a pendulum to get a yes or no on how much of a certain substance they should add to this formula. You can use your body as a barometer. Some of you have seen this being done before, but I guarantee this type, most people don't know, because where your eyes are positioned and how you state the question is extremely important. Usually the question that a lot of people are asking is about the past, which, you know, the subconscious is like, that already happened. I can't give you an accurate answer because it's not now. But now is the place where there is real information in this moment that has never happened before. And if you're asking questions about the future doesn't come, because when the future comes, they call it what? To now. Or tomorrow. So there's a way to ask a question to get an accurate answer right now. Would you like that? Would you like to know if you should date somebody, or if you should, you know, if you should put certain things together in a formula? If you're in the store, would you like to know how to choose? Not just choose the brand, choose the exact bottle or the exact product that's for you. Would you like to know how to choose if you should go to an event, what time you should go to an event? Would you like to know how to choose if a situation is for you or for somebody else? Would you like to know if you should move on something or hold back? Would you like to know that? That's how Dr. B creates almost every formula. This is how, when I work with clients and I do psychological kinesiology, it's a muscle testing thing that we do. And there are many types, as I said before, many types of muscle testing. I'm not throwing any shade on any of them. What I am saying is that this particular type is totally different. Your posture is important, how the Kundalini flows, where your feet are on the ground, the position of your feet, the position of your chin, the position of your eyes. And the main thing is being able to empty your mind so you don't force an answer on your body. Because a lot of times we're forcing an answer because we want it to be yes or we want it to be no. This goes past that. It transcends all of that. You see, there's a thing called morphogenic resonance. Has anybody heard of morphogenic resonance? Morphogenic resonance is how you see a flock of birds and all of a sudden, all of them turn at the exact same time and go a new position. Have you seen that? How do they do that? Fish. You have a whole bunch of fish, thousands of them, and they all turn at the exact same time. There's no leader. How do they do that? Dolphins can talk to each other across the world. Whales can talk to each other across the world. Morphogenic resonance. You see, they were feeding somewhere in the jungle. They were feeding these monkeys every day. And somebody took, I think it was a yam, and they washed it and showed one monkey, one female monkey, because, you know, monkeys a lot of times repeat what we do. Copying, modeling, just like a lot of people are modeling. And they showed this fish, this monkey, how to wash its yam. By the end of the week, all of the monkeys in this area were washing their yam before they ate it. Within 2 weeks, and don't get technical on the time, because you said, well, Dr. B, actually it was 2.5 weeks. Okay, you want to get scientific. Within a very short period of time, how's that? The monkeys on other islands were all washing their yam before they ate it. They weren't even in contact, because the monkeys don't swim. What they do, crawl across the ocean to another island? Then they noticed that species of monkey all over the world and other species of monkeys began to wash their yams. Because there's a one-mindedness. How you like that? There's a one-mindedness and a connective energy, a field of energy that you can't perceive and hear that connects you to everything. It's a feeling. They were all tapping into their inner verse and connected. And this morphogenic resonance says that energy is everywhere. And we're bathed in this energy. And when something changes, it creates a resonance, a frequency, a sound. And other things that are tuned to that same frequency change too. They morph into the frequency, the rhythm, and the song, no matter where they are on the planet. As we're talking right now, there's 1 million people who are hearing the same message, whether they're online or not. They're feeling it. Morphogenic resonance. This is a powerful thing. This type of kinesiology is based on that. It's based on tapping in to the resonant frequencies of the universe. You're tapping into the Akashic records. There's been so much science about this. There's a book called Power versus Force, which is based on this. And these are the scientists that actually worked and took 20 years to prove it. And they proved that this unknowable energy of the universe is all connected. But because of this thing called dysregulation and disassociation, a lot of people have been tapped out of being tapped into this natural resonance that a lot of people in the same tribe, people who had the same vibration and the same goals, were tapped into. Because when you had tribes, it was like a beehive. They all resonate to a certain frequency, and they know where home is. They know what to do. They don't get lost. Bees never end up at the wrong nest because they're feeling a frequency. They all resonate, and their minds are all morphogenically connected to be in oneness. Wouldn't you like to be able to tap into the oneness and the energy of everything versus being dysregulated? Because that's what happened over many years. We became dysregulated and disconnected from our true selves, from the powers of nature, from being able to hear the leaves, be able to hear autumn as it comes, to be able to feel the energy of the equinox. Well, we're changing that right now because everything on the planet is changing. Every frequency is changing. Every molecule is changing. The quickening is the time when all the energies of everything is speeding up. The Earth's frequency is speeding up. People are waking up every moment. There's people waking up like they never woke up before. People have been asleep for a long time and now waking up, yawning. People are choosing. People are breaking free. People are eating better all over the world. I know a lot of folks keep talking about how bad it is. Well, you want to focus on that, then it expands. Whenever you focus on something that you can't control, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. If you focus on what you can control, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Let's focus on what you can control. Right now, you can control your breath. You can control what comes in your mouth. If you decide that you want to eat summer food in the winter, well, guess what? You're choosing for your cells to begin to degrade, and you are dysregulating yourself. If you choose to act like you are in a different season, if you're at a different time, then you're in dysregulation. And if you don't have regulation, you don't have balance. You don't have homeostasis. You cannot meet a place called equality because you're not equal to even your own self. The Akasha is the collective consciousness. That is the infinite mind, which flows through everything. It's quiet. It's not loud. It's the good news. It's on the radio in the head, the radio in your hair, the radio in your cells. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, and learn to allow nature to flow. Huh? You see, in quantum physics, there's no time. There's no direction. There's no place. There's no distance. Everything is happening right now. They call that spooky action at a distance. This is some deep, strange stuff. When you realize that what they say in quantum physics, that everything is everything. Everything has everything else in it. This technique, this type of personal kinesiology, is what we use to tap in. Dr. B, how do you know? Because Dr. B's tapped in on some whole other level. I don't even know how to tap out. And a lot of you are the same way. And there's a million people out there right now that are washing their yams, that are buying pumpkins because of the zinc in the seed of the pumpkin, that are eating grapes with the seeds because they would like to get that energy and that resonance, that frequency that says that all of us need to go to the farmers markets. That is big. Go to the small farmers. If you can, grow something if you can. Save seeds. That is the resonance that is happening on a huge level. We are at a whole new place. We are going through a renaissance together as one. Never mind the TV news and the news that they keep giving you. You got to vote for yourself first. Don't vote for something or somebody because they are this or that. First, is there a resonance between you and that person? Is there a true resonance between you and what you're calling friends? Because half of your friends are your enemies. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you like them until you don't. Then you have a terrible breakup. If you got real folks in your life, what you can do when you decide not to do something a certain way, you can what? Repurpose the relating. Repurpose it. Just like you repurpose your vegetables, the rinds, you repurpose them. And what? You take those and you become what? Fertilizer. You begin to fertilize your life. How many of you are ready to fertilize your life? And align yourself with Hanamku, the galactic center, which is aligned with certain stars that exist in you, in we-ness together, in concert. So when I found out that there was a technique to get a definitive, factual yes or no, my mind was blown. It changed everything. Now I use this technique, this personal kinesiology technique, for almost everything. Whether I should talk to a person or not, whether I should hug a person or not, whether I should eat a certain food or not, whether I should sleep later today, should I go and handle business today or not. Yeah, they talk about, oh boy, but you should be concerned about the retrogrades and all this. Well, actually, most people are in retrograde themselves. They're going backwards because they're dysregulated from what is natural. We're moving now back towards nature. All of us are waking up. Some folks are waking up and find out that they're waking up dead. Some folks are just dead waiting on dirt, and that's okay. Let them do that. Everybody has to wake up at their own time. What I'm saying is that this time that we're crossing over the equator, it's time to choose. This fall, this winter, is going to be important for you to choose. So we're teaching a technique starting on Saturday. It's going to be 3 classes at least. There may be more. One on Saturday. One's going to be in October. Another one in November. Possibly another one in December. to teach this technique. And this is personal kinesiology. So this is not the one where you learn to, get yes or no's about other people. It's about you. What's for you? And this is basic. And it's going to be an introduction because there will be a course coming next year on how to do subconscious alignment and also, about herbalism, metaphysical and, alchemical herbalism. All these things are leading up. So these are prerequisites. So I would ask each of you to do yourself a favor. You can go to Elevation Time right now. And on the front page, you'll see where there's the free webinar we're doing now, and there's the class for Saturday. How many of you are going to be at that class? How many of you are ready to learn this technique? We've been talking about it for years. People's asked me, Dr. B, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I've learned many different types of kinesiology, but this particular one really shines through. So I would like to invite all of you to be there this Saturday, day after tomorrow. And, I know this is YouTube, so some folks say, well, what Saturday is he talking about? Well, if you're watching it on YouTube later, it already happened, but it will be on our website at elevationtime.com for you to go to enjoy and to learn, from now on. So even if you sign up for the class now, you don't have to watch it or take the class now. Have your notebooks, have water. This is a class. This is not just some inspiration. This is teaching you how to be what? How to know when and when to know how. Would that be helpful? It is hugely powerful. Not just kinesiology, y'all. This is a very special type of kinesiology. There's many types. This is the one that I found to be the most effective. Where you're standing, how you're looking, how you're breathing, all of that is what makes this one. This is the top flight. So I would love to have you all come on Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and join the class. So I'm going to go through some of this because go past a lot of this. The thing that keeps a lot of us from shifting into the next life are parasites. There's mental parasites, there's physical parasites, there's non-physical parasites, there's spiritual parasites. And as y'all know, that this is one of the specialties that Dr. B brings is, dealing with systemic parasites that live throughout the body. What you're seeing here are parasite shifts or cyst. You see the one in the middle, looks like a spaceship. That is a cyst that parasites, these other parasites, these beings around, they go in here and stay in here when you begin to heat your food up. Because you say, well, I cook my food, so I kill all the bugs. No, this thing can withstand up to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit, which means that your little piece of flesh, your chicken wing or whatever, is going to be a white powder. Parasites are very notorious for surviving even the most dangerous and the most erratic or the most things, what do you call it? The most powerful rain and sun and fire and snow. Parasites. They've been here for 2.5 billion years at least. They're survivalists. And you're not just going to cook them out your food. Symptoms of parasites: low energy, depression, anger, negative thinking, cancer, virus and colds and allergies, loss of appetite, loss of smell and taste, heart disease, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, diabetes, menstrual problems, vaginal infections, sexual dysfunction, mental dysfunction, serious dysfunction. I'm making up things now, I'm adding it in. I was on a roll. Drooling while sleeping, itching ears, nose, anus, and body, grinding of the teeth, gas and bloating, chronic fatigue syndrome, pain in the joints, insomnia, depression, and bipolar, tripolar, pentapolar. Whoo, a lot of folks got a lot of polars today. Food and drug cravings, rash and pimples, things floating by the eyes, epilepsy, liver, kidney, and spleen problems, chronic hunger, unclear vision, mental imbalances. What I'm saying is that the fall or the autumn or the equinox also wakes up another group of bugs. So you did a cleanse a couple months ago. We're going into fall now. It's another group coming online. So as you go into autumn, this is the time to detoxify. Take the month of October and detoxify so that when you get to the winter months, your immune system is strong enough to deal with what's coming, because they always got something coming, because this is a part of the experiment that they have going on right now that you are not going to be a part of by strengthening your immune system and your organs. So the Dr. B's Total Body Paracleanse program, as many of you know, this is our #1 product across the world right now. Thousands and thousands of people have used this to help detoxify their bodies. And we're dealing with systemic parasites. They're different than colon and intestinal parasites. We detoxify the body at a cellular level. Things like toxoplasma and superbugs we're looking to eradicate, because toxoplasma will keep you from changing. It will keep you sad and depressed and angry and mad and argumentative and disagreeable. That's toxoplasma. That's a symptom. And superbugs, there's all kinds of superbugs they use as biological weapons. They spray them on people, and they use these in labs and to control what? To control crops. I mean, they do a lot of stuff, but that doesn't matter, because there is answers in nature. So with this, we get increased energy and vitality, boost immune system, chronic illness support, weight reduction, improved digestion, peace of mind, enhance overall health and wellness. This is the Elevated Total Body Program, and it's on sale until Sunday night at midnight. Use the discount code FALL24. Platinum Life Elixir, Gregory Reserve. This is powerful for this season, because this one helps you to detoxify from certain thought patterns. This one helps to polish and give energy to your pineal gland. This one helps you with peak performance. It helps to lift the mood. It has gold, iridium, platinum, palladium, copper, and silver in a high spin state. Those are not just colloidal, right? There is colloidal minerals in here, which are very small particles, colloids, but there's also ionic minerals. And then there are M state minerals, which are the rarest minerals on the earth. This product we made in conjunction with Dick Gregory at elevationtime.com. Foods for the fall. As we wind it up, I'm going to give you some of these before we log off for the evening. You've been a wonderful, amazing audience. Thank you very much for your time and your investment and your donations. And yes, I want to thank all of you who have been going to Elevation Time and donating. Those donations go to help us create more and do more research. Donation. And every time you purchase something or donate or buy something or give away what we call money or exchange, just say return 1,000-fold. Return 1,000-fold. Return 1,000-fold. And that way you'll give more, because you never lose, because nothing is wasted in nature. So foods for the fall begin with P. And this is amazing how all these foods with P's pop up in the fall. Pears, pumpkins, pomegranate, papaya, plantain, passion fruit, parsley, purple potatoes, parsnips, persimmons, purple cabbage, pistachios, and plums. Really? All foods for fall, because you got to change into the way of eating for fall or for autumn. As the equinox comes, you start changing the way you're eating. Pick foods that are in season. And a lot of these are going to be at your farmers markets that begin with P. Also, dates and dried muscadine dates, fresh and dried. Muscadine grapes. Oh my gosh, some of y'all know about the muscadines. Powerful, with the big seed inside. And that, grape seed extract, which is inside that seed, it has so much electricity in it. It begins to tell your immune system to go look and hunt and get rid of and eradicate things that are keeping you from being in a place of homeostasis. So eat the seeds. Mustard greens, mustard itself, turnip greens, collard greens, beet juice mixed with ginger, cilantro, green banana, fresh jackfruit, mame fruit. Oh my gosh, mame is amazing. All berries and root vegetables. This is what's in season. This is what we eat to stay powerful. Elderberries. Make sure you make a tea. Do not just eat an elderberry. You will be running to the bathroom for 2 days. Hibiscus, vitamin D3, vitamin B complex, magnesium glycinate or taurate. Glycinate or taurate. Those are different types of vitamin C. Cayenne pepper, organic raw coconut oil, quercetin, which is from the seeds or the skins of citrus, and also onions and things like that. They have a lot of this quercetin, which is very good for your immune system. We could talk about that at another time. But barley grass versus wheatgrass. Barley grass is more alkaline. Spirulina, chlorella. These are things that are good for the fall. Other things that are good for the fall. Dr. B's Elevated Paracleanse program. Dr. B's Total Body program. Heaven on Earth for your nervous system. We just talked about platinum monatomic elixir. Essential Balance, which is like food. It's like a meal replacer, and it's scraping out the lectins out of your digestive tract. And lectins come from certain foods that are trying to protect you from eating them. Peanuts full of lectins. Cashews high in lectins. Lectins destroy your ability to absorb certain minerals. There are certain plants that you should not be eating in the way we're eating them. Tomatoes, you got to get rid of the skin and the seed. Get rid of the sin. There we go. Get rid of the sin. Get rid of the skin and the seeds of your tomatoes, just like they do traditionally. Okay. So, but Essential Balance helps to get rid of some of the lectins that we have in our system that's causing us to have too many hormones that are free in the body, that the body's not able to use them. Certain nutrients are absorbing because of lectins. So high lectin foods is the problem. A lot of foods have lectins, but it's the high lectin foods that we have to be careful of because they change the digestion, which also changes the way our solar plexus and our gut bacteria is performing. And if you eat certain foods, you will not have a good gut response, which means you won't have a good gut feeling. So a lot of folks can't feel their gut anymore. Vitamin C tonic. Then there's the Nature's Passion. Actually, now it's called Passion, a whole new product. And that Passion, where is it at? Passion. It is now used for social anxiety, creative and sensual awareness. It's actually called a social anxiety, creative and sensual awareness elixir. Look at the new bottle. Let me show you. New label, new formula for Passion. It's brand new for the fall. In fact, all of the products that we have now are new for this particular season. We create these elixirs and these tonics based on the season. They're seasonal. They change. You change. The environment changes. So your formulation should change. We're going to teach this when we teach our formulation class, our herbal class. Why should you change your formula? Well, this is the way it is. Well, that's what was at that time. It's a time-based thing. Everything changes in nature. When that sun crosses the equator, everything changes. All the animals know it. The leaves and the birds and the bees, they know it. That's the good news, that we're going into a beautiful time. When it's time for you to wake up. Serious defenses for colds and flus and allergies. Serious defenses for colds and flus and allergies. Every thought is a prayer. Everything you do is a prayer. When you begin to realize that you don't have to just sit down and beg, you must be and vibrate to the frequency of what you would like. Instead of waiting for gifts, be the gift, be the giver. Instead of waiting for love, be loving. Instead of waiting to be married, marry yourself. Be evenly yoked with yourself. No more waiting on somebody to bring you something and save you. Save yourself with yourself, for yourself. Dive into the waters of life. Be grateful for what you desire, Be grateful in advance and act as if it's already happened. That's how you begin healing your body. People say, well, Dr. B, when are you going to talk about the herbs? Listen, we become the herbs. They're just cofactors that help us heal. We become the vitamins. We become the nutrition by vibrating at that level. And these things that we use are just helping us get on the what? The equinox of our lives and create homeostasis. Let's become balanced. Let's become the equinox, become the sun, become the heaven and the moon. Listen to the good news. Listen to the good news, the news that soothes you, puts a smile on your face. Learn to say no. And also learn that it's a time to say yes. We're going to teach you the technique starting Saturday of how to know a definitive cosmic yes and a definitive cosmic no, not based on your mindset, not based on your ego, not based on other people and your friends, based on you tapping into the original you that has been beaming through you, for you, from the center of the galaxy since the beginning. You are the one that is the one that came to be the one in the oneness of now. You are the one that woke up every day. You are that sperm and that egg coming together, creating a brand new universe called you, called now. You are the one that is answering your own to prayers. You are the only one there is in your universe. Be you. Take care of you first. When you take care of you, you're better to go out and help other people with more. Because if you're giving too much and you're beginning to leak, guess what? Your boat is now filling up with water and you are spilling all your stuff, and you are not in a place where you can hold on to your stuff, where you can be yourself. It's time to be yourself, for yourself, by yourself, with yourself. If only for one night, if only for one day, if only for one moment. This is that time to hear the drums, to hear the water, to allow yourself to breathe. 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 The equinox is calling. Breathe. Hear the ocean within you. Hear the birds and the bees and the breathing of the Great Mother as she brings the good news. It's autumn. Autumn. Feel the autumn breeze. Feel the energy. Become the new sun. Let your solar plexus guide you. Become the moon. Become the stars. Allow yourself to be yourself, with yourself, inside yourself, for yourself. If only for one day, one moment, one night. Take a breath and breathe and create balance and homeostasis. We are the equinox. We are the love. We are the resonant frequency. We are the morphogenic resonance. Let's learn to say no. Learn to say no. So that you can begin to say yes to the things that are for you. It's time to stop waiting for a download. Become the upload. Watch what you say and think, because it comes back on you. Watch what you say, because it comes back on you. It's time to give the love that you desire to yourself. Watch what you do, because it comes back on you. Watch what you think, because it comes back on you. Watch how you feel as you drive your ship across the equator, as you create balance and homeostasis. I be, be, be yourself with yourself. Make love out of the things that are not love. Watch what you ask for, because it comes back on you. Watch how you treat people, because it comes back on you. Much love to you all. Much love to you who have done all you can to get here and be here in this beautiful place called to now. Travel light, because most of the luggage that you carry is not yours. It was a hand-me-down. Hand me down. Let it go. 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 Hear the drums. The sounds of the water dance. This is another track that will be on the project, but that will be out really soon. Medicine Music Collective 3. That will be at elevationtime.com. I'd like you all to stay tuned. Make sure you're on the email list, because we're about to have a live event. We're going to choose 65 people to be at a very special VIP event coming up in just a few weeks. If you get an email, then you're invited. It will be very special. Combination of music, light, sound. We will do a subconscious alignment on the entire group that is invited. If you feel like a VIP, then it's for you. So as soon as you hear about it, make sure you opt in as quickly as possible, because we know this will go fast. It is the first of many live events that we will be doing. I will be taking us on a drum journey, a musical tapestry of sound, light, color, and information. That will be in Atlanta. I won't give you the date or the location, but it will only be 65 chosen few to be at this event. So be ready. Make sure you're on the email list at elevationtime.com and be listening and be ready for this event. And I'll see you all on Saturday, bright and early. Welcome to the Equinox. It's time to elevate your life. Are you ready? Much love. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, See you Saturday. Every thought is a prayer.